Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alana and I do a lot of book reviews on this channel. So if you like videos dedicated to one book, this is your channel. Okay? I like that long format book review style. I do. In today's video, we will be discussing Daphne du Maurier's Frenchman's Creek. This will be a short review because this book is just one of those books that I like to call good fun. Fun to read, it's a quick read, ain't too deep, gets the job done, scratches an itch, but beautifully written. Let's hop into it. She was part of his body and a part of his mind. They belonged to each other, both wanderers, both fugitives, cast in the same mold. So Frenchman's Creek by Daphne du Maurier is about a spunky, rambunctious upper-class woman, Lady Donna, who goes to Cornwall in an attempt to quiet her life because she was a little wild, not gonna lie. And so she needs to check herself. So she's trying to check herself, right? However, she does have this desire for true human connection in a life that doesn't abide by societal norms. And this leads her to a French pirate, and mischief ensues. As my sister says, Daphne du Maurier doesn't really seem to really respect the institution of marriage. I don't think I've read it. This is my fourth du Maurier. She either writes these horrible marriages, or people who are in horrible marriages, or people who have no interest in marriage. So I wonder if maybe, I don't know. I wonder what her home life was like in a way for her to kind of view marriage that cynically. Anyway, so I would say that the main theme of Frenchman's Creek is one that's often found in literature, especially written by narratives written by women. This feeling of being caged in. And Lady Donna really feels caged in. Do you remember my father's aviary in Hampshire? She said, and how the birds there were well fed and could fly about their cage. And one day I set a linnet free, and it flew straight out of my hands toward the sun. What of it? He said, clasping his hands behind his back. Because I feel like that, like the linnet before it flew. There is a lot of bird imagery in this book. And the Frenchman himself is often seen drawing birds. And it's a way to symbolize how he also has a personality and a desire for freedom. Like he's just, maybe in a way his disposition is just one of those natural indispositions that doesn't like to conform, which is very similar to Donna. At the risk of sounding cheesy, it also symbolizes how these two are very similar, and thus really they're meant to be. They're birds of a feather. Birds of a feather flock together. Okay. And they're seeking lifestyles that operate outside of these societal norms and conventions. Both Donna and the Frenchman feel confined by living normal lives, yet it is easier for the Frenchman to work outside of the system than Donna because he is a man. It's easier for him to choose not to get married. He doesn't have to worry about taking care of children. He's not married. He ain't got no kids, and if he don't want kids, he don't have to have them. Okay, he's not married. He could do what he wants. But for Donna, because she is married, because she has children, she has a household, she's a part of the English aristocracy. She has a lot more ties to society that are harder to break. And she's constantly torn between whether to leave her conventional life or remain with her family and feel constrained. He has it that those who live a normal life in this world of ours are forced into habits, into customs, into a rule of life that eventually kills all initiative, all spontaneity. A man becomes a cog in the wheel, part of a system. We are all cogs in a wheel, and mothers most especially. It is only the pirates who are free. What other book, name that book, that constantly uses the phrase cogs in a wheel. Cogs in a wheel. We're all cogs in society. The Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. So I'm going to do an unexpected book pairing here. If you are fans, that was horrible English. If you were a fan, you are a fan of Sayaka Murata and her book Convenience Store Woman, these two would actually be really, really good pairings because it's the same thing, written decades apart. So it's that specific language that Daphne du Maurier chooses to use directly translates to that book, The Convenience Store Woman. There you go. But in this book, you get pirates, attractive pirates, French pirates, no less, and Cornwall and historical settings and all that stuff. In English countryside. So there you go. This is a very straightforward book. Very straightforward review. Let's wrap it up. This is a record for me. Frenchman's Creek is straightforward, like I said, and it's a fun read. Every now and then, that's what you want, especially me. When you sandwich a book like this between books like The Grapes of Wrath and all of the other heavy stuff that I like to read, this is light. This is comparatively light and refreshing. And as one can expect with du Maurier, really, really great writing. She's an incredible writer. She has really good command of English, and she has a really good command over creating atmosphere. So even though this takes place in the summer, this particular book, it's still atmospheric. And the plot is interesting, and the characters are morally gray. You don't always agree with Donna. You don't always agree with, because she's, in a way, she's blatantly wrong. She's a married woman. She's wrong. She's committing adultery. But it's still incredibly fascinating to think about those choices from her perspective. Not that I ever think about those choices, but du Maurier is really asking some questions here about, do you choose to be a free agent, or do you abide by certain norms and conventions? Again, why this book would be an interesting pairing to The Convenience Store Woman. This is one of those novels that you pick up when you want to read for the sake of reading, and you don't really want to use a lot of brain power with the book, but it still asks some interesting questions, but it's mainly a form of escapism, and it's well executed, and it's still smart. And Daphne du Maurier is excellent at that. This is, like I said, this is my fourth Daphne du Maurier novel. It's not my favorite. That honor is currently held by Jamaica Inn, which I really need to reread. That's my favorite novel of hers so far, but I still really enjoyed it and rated it a 4 out of 5. So if you just want something to read that's just pure escapism, beautifully written, has a couple of interesting themes in there about freedom and operating within society and social obligations and all of that, mainly from the female perspective, this would be an interesting to pick up. One to pick up. I am done with this review. That was quick. Sometimes that's just what I need in my life also. A quick read and a quick review. Are you a Daphne du Maurier fan? Have you read any of her other novels? I have also read, like I said, Jamaica Inn, Rebecca, and My Cousin Rachel. And I will also read some of her other novels that she has. I'm going to try to read everything that she has that's published, including her short stories eventually. Have you read this book? What did you think about it? Feel free to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. And if you would like to follow me, I'm also on Instagram. My link is down below, and I will catch you in the next one.